Anthropic just released Claude Code channels. Essentially, this allows you to control your Claude Code sessions through a selectful of MCPs, starting with Telegram and Discord as the main channels. So this means that you can now start using Claude Code directly from your phone, and Claude will respond to you inside those channels on the platforms that you pick, either Discord or Telegram. So in this video, I'm gonna go over how you can get your Claude Code session connected to your phone through platforms like Discord, like I did here, and also here in Telegram. And if you want to go a step further, I can show you how you can set up your private VPS securely so you can have multiple terminal sessions with Claude Code for yourself running 24/7 on your server. So essentially what Claude Code channels does is it is basically a two-way bridge between your phone and a running Claude session. So you can send messages through Discord or Telegram, and Claude will be able to see it, do the work, and reply back to you in the same channel in real time. What is not? It is not just a standalone app, and it doesn't run Claude Code in the cloud. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna place Claude in our own private server that is gonna be running 24/7. Remember? So this is essentially not the play that Anthropic is doing. Claude is not running in the cloud 24/7. Claude still runs on your machine. So ideally, we can put it on a private server, but still, you need to be able to open a terminal and have that Claude Code session going on. All right, so I want to make this video super dynamic. So we're going to start with the actual pieces of action of how the heck do I connect Claude Code channels, my Claude Code sessions through Discord and Telegram. We're going to start with that, and then we're going to move to the next stage. All right, so this is how you can set up Claude Code channels inside Telegram. So we're going to start by creating a Telegram bot. So we're going to go into Telegram. We're going to open bot father. We're going to type new bot /new bot, and we're going to give it a display name and a unique username ending in bot. Okay. So here we are in bot father. So I'm going to type /new bot. Cool. All right. Then a new bot. How are you going to call it? The name is going to be Scooby _ bot. Scooby bot. Oh, it is already taken. So I'm going to do Scooby the Goat bot. Done. Congratulations on your new bot. You will find it at boom. Here's the token access. So we're going to copy this token access. And still we need to follow the instructions. So next thing that we need to do, we need to run Claude Code on the terminal. And we need to paste this command here. So here I have on a new terminal. And then I'm going to type Claude. And then I'm going to say dangerously skip permissions. Boom. Yes. And I'm going to paste the command I just copy. Boom. I'm going to select install for you. Now we need to run reload plugins. Boom. And we need to go back into the guide and copy this command here. Telegram configure, and then we're going to paste here the token we just got from botfather. And then we're going to type /telegram configure, and we're going to paste the token here. Here's the token. And then it's going to ask us to create an environmental file. We're going to click yes. So now what we can do is we can open on another terminal, Claude, then bypass permissions, and then we need to paste this here. Channels, plugin, Telegram, Claude plugins official. And we need to submit. We're going to trust this folder. Yes. And here we have Claude Code, dangerously skip permissions. So we don't have to approve. You can do it this way or the other way. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the setup guide and we're going to copy this here, Telegram access. We're going to submit that. We're going to open a chat with our bot. So we're going to click here. We're going to click start. And we're going to get from the bot this command here. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go back to our Claude session on the terminal. We're going to paste. Cool. And Claude is already paired. And finally, we're going to copy this command and give it to Claude. This is going to lock down access. So only your account can send messages to your bot. And done. Here we are. So I'm going to grab my phone and say, "What up, Claude? How are you doing?" we're now going to be able to see here that my message is going through, and now Claude is waiting to respond. And if we check back, he said, "What up, Claude? How are you doing?" You are Claude. I'm Enrique, okay? And now is replying back, "Hey, Enrique, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. What can I help you with?" So now we're good to manage Claude through our phone inside Telegram. Now, this is how you can set up Claude Code channels through Discord. So what we're going to do, we're going to open Developer Portal through Discord. We're going to click on New Application, and we're going to name it Scooby Claude. We're going to select here, create, I'm a human. And then we're going to go into the section of bot, and we are going to reset the token. Cool, so we are going to copy the token, content intent. So we need to click on this selection here. So we need to turn it on. Save changes. Cool. Now what we need to do, we need to invite our bot to our Discord server. So we're going to go to OAuth, and we're going to select scopes. In this case, we're going to select bot. Here, we're going to have this bot permissions. So we are going to select view channels, send messages and threads, read message history, attach files, and reactions. So this is the permissions that we're giving. Make sure you take a screenshot. And after we do all of that, we're going to copy this generated URL. We're going to open that on a new, and now I'm going to give access to Scooby Claude into the proper server I created. And here we have Scooby Claude inside the server. All right, so at this point here, we have Discord configured already, but now we need to install this plugin here to our Claude Code session. So here I am on a terminal session. I'm just going to type Claude -- dangerously skip permissions. Boom. Submit. Yes, I trust this folder. And then we're going to paste the command we just copied. Send. Cool. So I'm going to install this for me. Install. Now run reload plugins to activate. Cool. Cool. We do have now 2 plugins. So the next step I need to do, the same token I copy from the bot, I'm going to place it here. So I'm going to copy this command, give it to Claude. So I'm going to paste that. Boom. Setting up your Discord bot token. The token inside the environmental file. Cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to type reload -plugins. Boom. Just to be safe now, I'm going to open a new Claude session. So I'm going to type Claude -- dangerously skip permissions. And I'm going to paste at the end this command here, --channels plugin Discord Claude plugins official. And I'm going to submit. Oh, I forgot the S at the end. There you go. So we're going to trust the folder. Yes. And we're going to continue. And at this point here, what I can do is I can just go directly to Scooby Claude and click on more, view full profile, message, and I'm going to say, hi. And I got this command here, /discord access pair, and I'm going to bring it back to the session I opened. Paste. Boom. So pairing approved. We're now good to chat with our agent, Claude Code agent through Discord. But finally, I'm just going to copy this last command that is basically locking down access, so only your account can send the messages to the bot, okay? And now if I start chatting with him directly, he's going to respond to me, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I do want Scooby to reply to me inside the server. So what I want to do is I want to basically create a new channel inside the server called Scooby Claude. Create channel. And then I'm going to copy the ID of the channel. So I'm pretty sure it is either of these 2 numbers. So I'm just going to copy this, go back into my Claude session and send the ID here. So this is the ID from the channel. This is the only place where I want you to chat with me. Then I'm going to approve. So pairing approved. We're now good to chat with our agent, Claude Code agent through Discord. All right, so I've been chatting with Scooby for quite some time, and mainly I wanted to get Scooby to reply to me without referencing him. But then he said that I cannot do that through like Discord. So I had to go to the terminal. And here in the terminal, I said, hey, I'm now in the terminal. Can I talk with Scooby without referencing him? And then Claude was so it selected require mention false. So we're done. Now if I go back and I grab my phone and I type, yo Scooby, we're good now. I don't have to reference you. You can chat now freely. Boom. He's now gonna reply. Roo, yeah. We're all set now. Just talk and I will be here. What's up? And that's how we got Discord connected through the new configuration Claude Code channels. All right, you might be asking, Enrique, what's next? Well, it is now the time to set up the VPS so we can have multiple Scoobies working for us, working for me 24/7. So while I sleep, there's gonna be a terminal with Claude Code session running and turn on. So if I close my computer, the terminal session will not go down. That's all what we want. And that's the next step where we are going to be heading into. So let's get to it. All right, so now it's time to go to the second phase of the video, setting up the private server step by step. So we're going to go from step 1 to step 5 all together, and I'm going to guide you through everything properly. But first of all, I just want to cover, is OpenClaw better than Claude Code now that Claude Code just released all of this stuff? Well, in my opinion, OpenClaw still is the autonomous agent foundation for letting your agent autonomously do stuff without you being there and manage it like you do with Claude Code. I'm not saying that they are the same. No, Claude Code is the foundation of agentic coding, and it is more powerful in some things than OpenClaw, but there's no way that you can compare both together. Like OpenClaw Gateway is not the same thing as what we're doing here with Claude Code. OpenClaw Gateway is running 24/7 on a private server. You can do agent-to-agent communication. You can set up consistent cron jobs. That turns the agent specific moments for specific things. In my case, I am fortunate to say that I have been using Opus 4.6 inside OpenClaw, but if you are using API keys or setting it up with another LLM alongside OpenClaw, I could say that obviously Claude Code wins by far. But in my case, I have the OAuth connection with Anthropic put into OpenClaw. I know that that's not the safest way to do it. I'm willing to risk it. And even if I don't use Opus 4.6, I can use Codex OAuth and it will be the same efficiency that is going to come through my OpenClaw agents as far as like helping me daily. So really, I don't understand people who actually compare them and say that this one's better, and because they're totally different things. Now, this guy that I'm going over with is for 3 types of people: the builders, the operators, and the privacy first. If you're someone that wants to be touching grass, going outside on a walk, and you want to be managing your agent through your phone, cool, this video is for you. If you manage multiple projects, multiple agents, you can have, and what we're going to try to do is to open multiple terminals, those multiple terminals connected to specific channels inside Discord, so you can manage those specific channels, like kind of like 3 terminals from your phone, connected to each of the channels that we're going to develop on Discord. Now, this is for you also because we're setting this up on a private server, and we're adding a layer on top of security that is Tailscale. And this is going to allow you to just be safe in terms of like your agent is not going to have access to your entire files on your personal computer, and is going to be running isolated in its own environment. All right, so we're going to start by setting up the VPS. We're going to use Hetzner. Hetzner is a European company. I really like Hetzner. Very affordable private servers that you can use and start setting up. The setup guide for this is super simple. We're going to go over it in 3 minutes. I always like to start first with setting up the firewalls, the firewall specifically. And these are the 2 rules inbound that I'm using. The first one is to give access through this rule to Tailscale, And the other one is used to give temporary access to our coding agent to set up our entire private server, connect Tailscale for us, and do all of the dependencies, installation, all of the requirements for us. This specific rule is going to be deleted or is not going to be used at the end of the setup. So make sure you have for this one, protocol UDP, port this number. The second one, TCP, port 22. And you can put a description name for those. Now, Tailscale is a platform that is going to allow us to make our private server be invisible to the internet. That's the only piece that Tailscale is allowing us to do here. It's just an extra layer for more security to your private server. Now, to be able to create a server, you need to go into servers, add a server, and you will be asked for what type of server you want. I usually pick regular performance. This is my go-to. And then I choose, in this case, you can go with the $7 per month server with 4 gigabytes of RAM, 80 gigabytes of storage, and 2 BCPUs. It's up to you, depending on the volume and how much Claude sessions you want. If you want like 3 Claude sessions or more than that, you can go and buy this so you can get more space on the compute. Now, I'm going to pick this one here. I'm going to set location to be California. And then we're going to set up the operating system to be Ubuntu. This is Linux. And then if you scroll down, we have the SSH key. I created my own SSH key already. You can set up your own SSH key. Essentially, the SSH key is basically the key that is going to allow to another computer connect to your private server. So please make one. And then after that, you're going to make sure your firewall is connected, the one you created at the very beginning. And then make sure you check mark public IPv4 and this one too. And then if we scroll down, the only thing that we need to do is just give it a name. So you can call it whatever name you want, okay? Currently, I do have my own private server, so I'm going to use this one here. This is the same one I use for my OpenClaw setup guide agent that I have in another video. I will recommend you watching that if you also want to set up OpenClaw in a secure, affordable, and reliable way. So we're going to go into the next step. So the step that we are going to go into now is setting up our workspace inside VS Code connected to our private server, set up all the dependencies, and adding the extra layer of security that is Tailscale, okay? And the cool thing is that we already finished creating our Hetzner server. We already created the extra layer of security firewall. Now we're going to go into this process here, step 3 and 4 and 5 later. But the cool thing is that we do have one prompt that is going to do the whole setup for us, starting from getting our Claude agent to handle the entire server setup for us. Like I said, dependencies, Tailscale, SSH config, VS Code workspace, everything for us without us not touching or placing any commands. We're going to give this entire Claude code prompt to our Claude agent that is going to do the setup, okay? And you can find this setup guide, the Claude Code channel setup guide, inside the IX creators community. This community is essentially built by builders, product leaders, and creators working with autonomous intelligence to build businesses that run themselves. So we're not here to hype, we're here to build and share everything we know and empower each other to create more than we consume. That's the whole point here. Here are the 3 pillars. Cool. And I really recommend you to just introduce yourself inside the channel. Take a look at repos and guides. Here I have my guide on setting up the clip extractor pipeline, Claude Creatives, AI Agent Social Media Manager, Claude Code Starter Kit coming from Trajan. We are here to empower you, give all the resources that we can give. and guides so you can start building and creating yourself. So if you want to build cool stuff too and align with the vision of not being a consumer and being a creator, please come hang out and provide your own value here. Access to the community is free, and you can have access to these channels yourself. So what are you waiting for? Inside these repos and guides, I will be adding the PDF document that I'm sharing in this video, setting up Claude Code channels. Okay, so at the end of this video you will see everything here. So if you have been part of the AI acquisitions community, I do invite you to be one of the first members on the IX creators Discord community, because that's where we're moving into. So with that being said, just go into the WhatsApp me link that I'm gonna leave in the description so you can start the conversation with Finn, our assistant. She's the autonoma. She is part of the community, and you will see her hanging out with us. Just chat with her and tell her that you're coming from the Claude Code channels video, and you want to access the community and get all the free resources. She will give you that and invite you to the community. Go chat with Finn. All right, so now we're going into the next step. In this case, you're gonna need a developer platform. In this case, I'm gonna use VS Code. So if you don't have VS Code, you can download this on your computer, either if you're using Windows or Mac. All right, so we're inside VS Code, and we're not inside any workspace or any folder, nothing. We're outside of anything, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna set up our agent, right? Claude Code. You can either do it through the terminal or just the Claude Code extension. This will open the GUI from Anthropic Claude Code for VS Code. This little icon here that you can see on the top right, this is the UI, the chat interface that we are going to be using. Okay, so if you don't have Claude Code for VS Code install, please install that. Auto updates turn on, and also bypass permissions. Allow bypass permissions. This will bring you into connecting your Anthropic account. So please connect your Anthropic account. And here we are. So what we need to do now, we can now use Claude Code. So what I'm going to basically grab is the prompt that we have here. So I'm going to copy everything. Cool. Go back and start filling out the placeholders. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to copy my server IP. Boom. Server IP replaced. Server IP replaced. And inside step number 4, I'm going to give my SSH key. Okay. You can find that inside security. You will see that here. So I'm going to copy it and type, here's my SSH key. Boom. I'm going to allow bypass permissions, and I'm going to submit. All right. So it just finished step number 1, 2, 3. So it set up the connection, installing and connecting Tailscale, and setting up a local SSH config for Tailscale connection. Now we need to remove the temporary port 2 rule that we have in Hetzner firewall. So you can either delete it, you can remove the rule, or you can just let Claude skip that. We're not going to do that. You can move on. But I deleted it. And I'm going to say done. All right, so we're getting close on Claude opening for us VS Code, connected to my server, and creating its own workspace. It seems like, as you can see, he already did that. So I'm going to select Linux, trust the folder, and continue. And it is connecting fully. Now, you can change the name of your workspace if you don't want this name. You can name it yourself. But I have everything properly installed and ready with all the dependencies. Here's everything. Here's the summary. Node.js, done. Claude Code, done. Tailscale, done. I didn't went through the regular setup connection OAuth through Tailscale because it was already being done inside my private server on the OpenClaw setup guide that I did. So the process of authentication is really simple. It's just gonna open for you in the browser Tailscale, like a specific OAuth link. But if before doing that, you need to be able to actually access Tailscale and create yourself a free account. Okay. Once that's done, it's gonna authenticate and create that and say that the connection is ready. You can move forward. It already installed TMUX. It set up properly the Hetzner firewall. It SSH correctly through Tailscale, and it opened the workspace on VS Code for me. So the only thing left to do is Claude code logging. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna copy this command, go to the workspace that was open for me. Cool. And I'm gonna open the terminal, and I'm gonna just paste Claude login. And you can see, first try, I didn't have to do anything else because everything was installed, all the dependencies, everything was done already inside the private server. So I'm just gonna click dark mode, Claude subscription, open, authorize, cool, coming back, login successful, press enter to continue. Enter, security nodes, Claude can make mistakes, enter, continue, enter, confirm, yes, I trust this folder, and here we are. All right, so this is the basic setup process that I went with Claude. So first I said create a folder called Claude Channels Guide, and then create a non-root user called Claude User, and then set up TMUX session called Claude with 3 windows. So this is what he did. And then with the new folder, we basically did the onboarding process that is very simple with Claude. That is basically, okay, cool. We now have the folder. Now what project you want to do. Cool. I just said a basic description of what I'm doing. And then he basically set up everything for me here in my workspace. Obviously, if you have already something and you want to transfer it to your private server, you can do that too. All right, so now it's time to access the TMUX windows. So Claude is guiding me through opening a new terminal and running this command. So that's what I'm gonna do. Enter. And as you can see here, we're now inside our different windows, right? So we have the main, we have the setup, and we have the monitor. These are the names that Claude gave, but this can be like window 1, window 2, window 3, okay? So to navigate through your windows, you need to click Ctrl B and then the specific number. So if I click Ctrl B2, you can see that the little star moves. So if I click Ctrl B0, it goes to window 0. So in here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna run Claude code by pass permissions. All right, so now that we do have everything set up properly, we're gonna go to our windows inside our TMUX session, and we are gonna type Claude dangerously skip permissions. We're gonna submit. Now, if you get this message here, that's because you are running as root. So you need to switch to the Claude user you created earlier at the step on our onboarding process that I just covered already. All right, if you're facing through those issues, what you can just do also is you can just go to your Claude session and tell it, hey, can you fix that to all the 3 windows that I have open with TMUX? Please, I want to have Claude dangerously skip permissions properly. He will do that for you. So we're going to continue now into just following the process. Accessing the workspace. Yes, I trust. Yes, I trust. Cool. Claude bypass permissions. Now we switch to Ctrl B2. Yes, trust this folder. We have now Claude bypass permissions. If we switch to 0, we have everything now running properly on 3 of our terminal windows. So we have 3 Claude sessions free, open, so we can manage them through Discord. All right, so I made it work. So I have here 3 Claude Code sessions open on the terminal through TMUX, right? If I click on Ctrl B and 0, again, 0, it will be sending me to this session here. Ctrl B2, it will be sending me to the session here. Ctrl B1, it will be sending me to the session here. So at the start, I did open the terminal, put the command Claude, and then dangerously skip permissions, and then I added the channel Discord. Now I I ran all of them at the same time. And then I did specifically gave to each of the sessions, of the Claude Code sessions, their specific represented channel. I had some issues, but then I went back with just one agent. So the agent focused on just figuring out and breaking down the proper configuration. So in the config file, I'm not able to scroll up for some reason, but in the config file, now we have selected as, okay, this Claude Code session is just focusing on this channel on Discord. This Claude Code session is focusing on content production, for example, only. The other channel is focusing on being my sales representative. So that's how I'm making Kike work for me in a isolated manner. So what I'm going to try to do to make it work and to be sure this is working properly, I'm just going to ask on each channel, so life coach, sales, and content production, what is your role? If each of them say the correct role, this is working properly. Yo, what's your role? Let's go. Let's go. So if you can see here, Kike said, I'm your life coach, as you can see here. And then here, sales, I'm the sales representative here. And here, I'm your content production manager. So if I check back here, and if I go into each of the terminal sessions, so right now I can see that all the Claude Code sessions are getting the message, like what's your role. So that's a red flag. But we made some progress. I mean, we're very early stages of this release. So I just wanted to show you what's actually possible and where we can go further with this. Now, what I can show you is if I close this session, so if I close the whole connection through my private server and the terminals themselves, those terminals are going to be running. And if they're not running, it will show up as a no reply inside Discord. So let's test that, okay? So I'm going to close this. Boom. Yo, what up, Scooby? How are you doing? Are you doing good? Are you doing bad? I'm going to send it. Yo, what up, Scooby? How are you doing? Are you doing good? Are you doing bad? This is actually working. So now you have your private server 24/7 with your Claude Code sessions open all day for you. So you can chat with your agent. So I can chat with Scooby through my Discord server. Crazy. All right. So if you did like this video, please don't forget to check out all the videos that I have uploaded this last month. They're a blast. And please check out the community that we have, the IX Creators community. Don't forget about that. We are going to go crazy with this. So just chat with Finn. I will leave her number in the description alongside her WhatsApp. So yeah, nothing else to say. Thank you so much for staying at this point of the video. Hope you leave a like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. And yeah, see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.